But I want to bring in, Asif Ansari on a simple point. Asif Ansari, this is the position of Cyprus on these issues. It has supported India on Kashmir, terrorism, reforms in the UNSC, as well as, of course, following the April 22nd terror attack in Pahalgam. Cyprus has even pledged to raise the issue of Pakistan's cross-border terrorism at the EU level. If this is what Cyprus's public positions are, what is the issue if India is visiting Cyprus, if the Prime Minister is visiting Cyprus and expressing solidarity with them? They are strategically in an important location. They are going to be heading the EU very soon, with whom, as the BJP spokesperson said, we will have a free trade agreement, and it sends a message to Turkey. What's the problem over here? Asif Ansari.
Well, Madam, good evening. I just want to draw your attention that it's not about the single country visit of like Cyprus. But we have seen that our Prime Minister, in his tenure, he has visited 89 foreign trips. Out of that, he has visited 74 countries. But what the diplomatic gains we have gained in his visits to the other country? Now, when we will say about the Pahalgam attacks over the Pakistan did, and we have retaliated with our fullest strength. Now, what happened in Pakistan, in UN, the US minister are appreciating Pakistan for fighting the terrorism. So where are our diplomatic ties up with the UN? How the US is cooperating us in the Pahalgam attack? Now, at the one side, we are calling that we are the greatest friend of the Mr. Modi and the nation of India. But the second hand, their ministers are appreciating Pakistan for a counter-terrorism. Now, at the part of the Cyprus is there, we are having our such internal problems that the whole country is lamenting for the Air India crash. That was such a fatal crash has happened. But instead of being given the solidarity to the peoples of country, Prime Minister, it was not that important that he could visit to Cyprus.
So
now we have bridges.
What are you expecting? One second, Mr. Asif Ansari, you're saying that there's a fatal crash. Of course, there's a very tragic crash that has happened. But the Prime Minister and top ministers of the government did visit Ahmedabad. So what is the issue here?
No, not about the issue. Why our Prime Minister is not talking about the serious issues like the China's diplomatic position. Now you are taking a link which is a far more.
Mr. Ansari, you just raised the question on the crash. I'm asking you a counter question. Why are you raising that? Now you're shifting it to China. Anyway, let me bring in Jyotsna Tinunagiri. Professor Jyotsna Tinunagiri, this is a classic case of shifting the goalpost. Make one issue, raise it in national television, and then shift the goalpost. But then there are serious issues of pressing concern domestically which require the PM's attention. Is the larger point being made by Mr. Ansari? Your response?
See, I think, Madhav, there is something called selective memory for certain parties and certain people. I'm sorry to say this. These are the same old people who have forgot that just last month, if I'm not wrong, Madhav, Honorable Prime Minister has cancelled and in fact called off his scheduled three-nation Europe tour amidst the issues with Pakistan and the terror attacks and all that. So I think that there is something called selective memory that these guys have got. Anyways, coming to your question, Madhav, yes, as the Prime Minister of the country, as soon as an issue has happened in Ahmedabad, a fatal crash has happened, immediately he rushed to the spot. He was with the victims, he was with the officials. He immediately ordered for an inquiry, along with the inquiry that was happening from the technical team from the Civil Aviation Ministry. There is also a committee, high-level committee inquiry that's been ordered there. And also, because this is a scheduled trip and also attending the G7 summit in Canada is a key opportunity for India to voice concerns and build alliances on global arena, which we cannot, sideline, Madhav. I don't know why people forget that. Along with that, there are certain other issues that the Honorable Prime Minister has to address, and that's the reason he was visiting the country, three-nation tour. But along with that, when he was outside also, he didn't stay calm, Madhav. The domestic crisis that were there in the country as of now, he has spoken to the chief ministers of both the states, Maharashtra and also the other state where the issues have happened. All the officials are on track. They are doing their job. Along with that, the Honorable Prime Minister is also on track. He is doing his job. Globally, what he is supposed to be doing is doing it.
Okay.
So the whole problem is, Madhav, they can't digest the fact that Honorable Prime Minister is delivering what he is supposed to deliver.
Okay, Ghanshyam wants to respond to you on that. Ghanshyam wants to respond to you on that. Ghanshyam, the statement from the TDP spokesperson is that the Prime Minister is delivering domestically, he's delivering internationally when it comes to diplomacy, and that's something that the opposition is not able to digest. Your response?
Madhav, the key phrase of the TDP spokesperson is voice concerns. And the key phrase in my opening statement is voice. Where is the voice of the government and the prime minister? We don't hear from the defense minister. As far as the Israel-Iran conversation is concerned, one, you stay silent on Israel-Gaza situation at UN. You stay silent on in SCO on Israel-Iran situation. You stay silent when our students and professionals in the United States are harassed by United States. You stay silent even though for the last 1 year or more, thousands of Indian workers have been sent to Israel. Have you heard anybody from the government speaking in concern about them? Has the Prime Minister spoken? You stay silent as the war unfolds and Indian students in
Ghanshyam,
Iran need
today we
help.
saw the Prime Minister say that this isn't the era of war. I mean, let's be fair. It's not like you're not hearing anything from the government. The Prime Minister has spoken. He's spoken clearly on war and what the government's position is, Ghanshyam.
This is preaching. There is no room for Vishwaguru here. There's a prime minister. He has to speak. We have President Donald Trump playing Vishwaguru at best to the prime minister. It is this sham has to be broken.
Okay.
Somebody in the government on this very channel.
Many hands going up. Professor Jyotsna, and then coming to other panelists. Professor Jyotsna,
Very
please.
quick point, Madhav. Today, when we are speaking here, we have very strongly spoken to Iran, and 10,000 of our students are out. They have a green corridor, not literally a green corridor sort of thing, to come out of the very combative situation there. Madhav, I don't see that this can be forgotten. I think we cannot. That's what I call a selective understanding and selective memory for these people. I'm sorry to say. Do we remember or do we wish to forget all that the Honorable Prime Minister has done? We forget. We tend to forget Operation Ganga. We tend to forget all the other operations that have been across done across the different countries in the world. Shall we forget all those? Shall we forget all those, Madhav?
Okay.
And the other day when an Indian student was literally, he was troubled in the airport in United States of America, and immediately within hours our diplomats immediately reached out to